Alright, so this is a tutorial on how to play La Cucaracha, a Spanish traditional, arranged for 3 guitars by Andrew Forrest. If you have your scores, you're following along with how to play this and understand the music. The theme we're actually starting with starts here on measure 18, but we're actually starting on the pickups that are in the previous measure, measure 17. And we're starting on the first G after the fermata note. So we're not playing that F, G fermata. We're just starting on the G, which is on the and of beat 3. So it comes in 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. So looking at the whole rhythm and counting it out loud, from the pickups of measure 17 to the downbeat of measure 24, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and rest, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, rest, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and rest, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. And that starts us back at measure 18, downbeat of the repeat of that section. So for this next part, let's look at measure 18 through 25, which are the rhythms I just clapped out. Let's look at the notes and where they are. So, for the first phrase, beginning on the pickups into measure 18, on that and of beat 3, we see the G, 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 C, E, G, 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 C, E. And that's ending on measure 19. To play that, I just pluck the open G on the 3rd string, and then the C on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and then the open E on the 1st string, and then I repeat that pattern. So this next section happens in the pickups to measure 22. It's similar to what we saw before with the G, 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 C, E, but this time we're going G, 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 open B, D. So we know where the open G's are on the open 3rd string. The open B is the 2nd string, and the D is located on the 3rd fret, 3rd finger of the 2nd string. So we do that twice like we did with the other theme. And then finally comes, and then we begin the tune over again. So that little turnaround section of the music that goes back to the beginning of the lick is G, A, G, F, E, D, and C. And you can find that located on measure 24. It begins on beat 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then it starts over again. So the B section of the melody begins on measure 28. It's beginning on beat 2, and technically it can almost be considered pickups to where the theme of beat 2 starts on measure 29. But here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and rest. 1 and 2, and 3, and 4, and... Alright, let's talk about that segment. So it starts with 2 open G's on the 3rd string, 2 C's, which is on the 2nd string, 1st fret, 1st finger, 2 E's, open 1st string, a G, 3rd finger, 3rd fret, to an open E. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... The next segment we have a G, A, G, F, E, D, F, D. So the G is located 3rd fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, 1st fret, open, 3rd fret, 1st fret, 3rd fret. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I like to choose the best fingering I can, so I feel that if I put my 2nd finger on the G and use my pinky on the 5th fret, I can go back 3, 5, 3, and then the next note is the F, which is up here. Reach up with my 1st finger, open, 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the G, then an F, and then a D, 3rd fret, 2nd string. Alright, this is a look at what I'm doing with my right hand when playing that Guitar 1 part for La Cucaracha. And I'll just tell you right now, you look over the segment of music and you find that if notes change strings in the melody of the tune, it changes to an adjacent string. String 2 might go to notes on string 1 or string 3. Notes on string 3 will only go back to notes on string 2. Notes on string 1 will go back to notes on string 2. So it's only 2 that will go either string 1 or 3 direction. But if you're on strings 1 or 3, they only go in the direction of the string closest to them. They don't skip over. So that creates this advantage of just doing I and M and just alternating it all the time. So just I and M. And that repeats. Here's the other segment. So on and so forth. So techniques that I use to get to this level of mastery with a piece is, it really has to do a lot more with thought process than actually the physical doing part. I take time to look at the score. I figure out what the meter is. Here it says 8/8. Honestly, I'm thinking of it more as 4/4, so just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll take the time to just clap the whole rhythm from beginning to end in its whole form. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That was the pickups on measure 17 through measure 19. But I would go through the whole piece and do that. Mark on your score as much as possible. Go through the video and look at what fingers I use, look at what frets, and find ways on the score to physically mark the string by the string number by putting a circle around it. You could do the string number by just putting the number, and then you could also do the fret by just doing a number. But you'd probably want to have some sort of system to differentiate between the numbers that are supposed to be fret numbers and the numbers are supposed to be finger numbers. The numbers that are supposed to be string numbers, you obviously circle. Furthermore, it's just a lot about breaking it down. Like I just said, first time I'll go and I'll clap the whole rhythm. Maybe next time I'll just work on figuring out what the right notes are and not worry about the rhythm at all. And just explore, where's that note, what finger do I really want to be using on that note, stuff like that. And then start to incorporate, rhythm in the notes. Most of this has been metronome work, so I just start really slow. And if I can play with the metronome from beginning to end, all the correct notes, all the correct rhythms, and I can do that with a metronome, all I have to do is incrementally bump up the speed on the metronome, and then eventually I'm just there. It doesn't matter if you can play with the metronome at a deathly pace. That's more important than just trying to get the notes, rhythms, and the speed all at once. You're trying to do too many things at one time there, and I don't even do that to myself. So, overall, go slow. Take your time and really figure it out, because when you really analytically figure it out with your brain, you're that much closer to getting the speed and the results that you want.